This week, I have been inspired by what I think is one of the toughest days on a mountain bike I've ever seen.
Also coming up, a fallen champion shows us just how tight EWS racing is. Plus, a normal mountain biker nails our journey into the sport. Plus, some amazing riding from Andre Frischnaut.
It's all coming up on the Dirt Shed Show. Yes, welcome to this week's Dirt Shed Show with me, Martyn Ashton, and Neil Donoghue.
Oh.
And we've got our special guest for a very good reason this week. We've got Andrew Doddy himself. How are you, dude?
Yeah, good, mate.
Yeah,
excited about the show.
Yeah, this is a good one. This is a good one. How's the world of tech at the moment?
Not bad. There's quite a lot going on. Exciting time of year. Starting to hear rumours for next year.
I saw a new bike just this week, actually, up in Wales. I'll give you a clue.
Oh, well, that's got to be an Atherton bike.
It is.
Oh, look good?
I can't tell you.
Right, well, this week we're talking about something I've been inspired by. Okay, Braydon Bringhurst, who's a rider in the States, loves riding over in Moab. Now, the Whole Enchilada is a very famous trail there. Doddy, you've ridden it lots. Just tell us about this trail before we go any further, what Braydon has done with it.
Okay, well, the trail's 27, give or take, miles long, dropping about 8,000 feet. And you go through just about every type of terrain imaginable, from high alpine through to the most tech stuff you'll ever ride, basically, down in the canyon.
I've seen loads of pictures of the rocky stuff. And obviously, this is a down trail.
Yeah.
People don't ride up it.
No.
But this is what Braydon's basically come up with the idea is he's got some amazing skills. Look at this guy. He can ride so nice. We love his style.
Yeah, I followed him on Instagram for a long time, watching him do jumps. He's super smooth. He kind of rides a trail bike a bit like Chris Ack. We were talking about this earlier.
Yes.
Kind of super stylish, does a bit of everything, really good on the jumps, and uses that sort of skill and that style to try and get up this massive trail.
And so basically he wants to try and ride up, and I'm not going to tell you whether he does or doesn't do it, okay, right? Because this is an hour, 30-minute film of Braydon trying to ride this incredible feat of riding up Whole Enchilada clean. So if he ever puts his foot down, he's got to go back to the sort of natural start point of that section and do it again, no matter how many times it takes. And look at this terrain. I mean, it is insane.
And without sort of taking the piss out of trials, he is literally riding this like fluid non-stop.
Yes.
It's none of the sort of stop, hop, turn. Well, there's a bit of that, but kind of like I said, Acri style, like just all one fluid motion. And if he doesn't get it, he dabs, he has to go back down again and start that section again.
It's so hard. And we were talking about the clips or not clips. So Braydon's riding with clips. This is really interesting. As a mountain biker, clip pedals are just so familiar. But as a trials rider, a proper geeky comedy trials rider, clips are just disgusting. They're just a horrible idea, but I get why they work, but I just feel uncomfortable with them. But we were sort of talking about, do you have to have clips for this, Doddy, or?
I can't imagine anyone be able to ride this without clips.
It's weird, isn't it?
This is not saying anything about someone's riding skill, but as you can see in some of the clips you've just shown, there's sections where you've got to use the sort of the low speed skill, but then you need the punch to get up the next stuff.
Yeah.
I just don't see how it's possible anyway,
let
alone without the clips.
For me, it's scarier going up something like that in clips than it is coming down it, because the exposure, but also the whole feeling of like, I'm on something gnarly, it's steep, and I've stopped. And I've got to get off the bike because I'm going.
I'm just so frightened at that point because I'm just like, as a trials rider, you get really good at getting off. You're like, what? And then you just skip into the right spot, and it gives you confidence to try almost anything because you feel good at getting off.
But some of these things
Braydon looks so sketchy.
It obviously says a lot about his mental attitude, though, doesn't it?
It takes a lot
So
of
focused on
attempts.
doing.
Some of those things taking like 50 attempts to get up.
Unbelievable amount of times. It's scary. It's scary. And what Doddy, you've touched on it there, that Braydon really has to work on his mental attitude to get this project to work, and also his fitness. He trains so hard for it. And it's just an incredible film. I've been really lucky. I've had an early viewing of the film. It's coming out on the 2nd of November. These guys have looked at a few bits
over his shoulder. You know, if you just told me the title and what was going on, I wouldn't have been that interested. So I don't know anything about the trail, really. Now I've seen bits, I'm like, that is something I really want to sit down and watch. It's an amazing feat, and I can't wait to see if he does it or not.
Put it this way, doing it in a oneer, going downhill, It's a pretty tough day out on the bike.
It's an incredible film. 2nd of November. I believe it's going to be on Canyon's YouTube channel. Free to watch. It's absolutely brilliant. I loved it. I can't recommend it enough. Right, we're going to head to the news, and then I'm going to grill Doddy a little bit on his experience of the Whole Enchilada. Back in a moment.
The headline news this week is, of course, the conclusion of the Enduro World Series 2022 overall, which was decided last weekend in Ludenvielle, France. The round itself was closely fought, with Alex Rudeau winning his first ever EWS on home soil in the men's race, followed up by Martin Mays and Jack Moeller. Morgan Shaw finished her super consistent season with a win, followed by Isabeau Cordelier and Melanie Pujan, who hasn't been at the sharp end as much as I'm sure she would have liked this season. For the overalls, that meant Jessie Melamed took victory, only finishing outside of the top 3 twice, and even then, placing worst at 8th. Richie Rude held enough points for 2nd place, and Martin Mays, who finished strong, taking 3rd, just 30 points off of Richie. Isabeau Cordelier takes her 2nd series overall title ahead of Morgan Shaw in 2nd and Harriet Herndon in 3rd, improving on her 4th best finish from last year. Under 21s titles went to Emmy Lan and Luke Meyer-Smith, Masters titles to Karima Moore and Fiola Stepanka Nestrolova. And of course, Pivot Factory Racing walked away with the team championship. We aren't quite done yet though. Despite the overall seasons being done, we've got the Trophy of Nations this weekend, which is where riders team up to represent their country, and team times are all that counts. We'll have highlights and of course the EWS show as usual, but you can keep a closer eye on things over on the EWS YouTube channel. Some big updates for Ibis bikes now. Not only have they got a new logo, but they've updated the Ripley and the Rip Mo with UDH derailleur hangers and some fresh colours for 2022. The Ripley is available in drywall or bad apple, and the Ripmo in Bruce Banner or Endurocell. On the new chainstays compatible with the UDH hangers, there is also revised cable routing, which offers a smoother cable passage for the shifter to the rear mech, improving shifting feel as well. After loads of experiments, Hope have released some new cranks, which they think are the sweet spot for mountain biking, at just 155mm in length. Usually cranks range between about 165 and 175 in length, but Hope have been trying it out as short as 140mm before settling on this new design. The science goes that if your feet are closer together, then you've got level pedals, your hips aren't rotated further forwards, which results in increased stability, and of course, with lower bikes, you get better ground clearance, which is doubled when you realize that you then need a smaller ring for shorter cranks to get the same leverage ratio as the longer ones, plus everything is smaller and stiffer, so you're saving weight and materials. Sounds good? Just in time for winter, Rafa have launched their new Gore-Tex Infinium windproof, breathable, and water-resistant jackets. It's nice to see a collab with Gore-Tex here filling a gap in the product lineup. Packed with features this thing, and we reckon they'll have some trousers coming in hot very soon as well. Alright, it's time to take to the streets with Toff for the sickest thing of the week.
This week's sickest thing is this new video from Yuki Kishi called Corner of the City. I hadn't heard of Yuki before, but I was scrolling through Sends of the Day and saw someone doing a decade, like an 80s BMX trick, on a 29er trail bike, and obviously had to check them out. And I'm glad I did, because Yuki is a super sick, underrated rider. We've all seen Danny McCaskill do those 360 foot jam tail whips. Yuki does a triple one, a 360 triple foot jam tail whip drop. I think another sick clip is where he does this 180 foot jam tail whip and then holds it on the front wheel and then does these fakey back hops down these stairs to a 1 foot can out. Oh, and the banger is crazy. He does this 180 tire tap, full cab out, like a fakey 360 out of a tire tap. That's like so much spinning. It's ridiculous. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking this video out. Right, that's my sickest thing this week. Time to go back to the shed.
Thanks, guys. That's great. Right, we've been talking about the whole enchilada, and we've got a proper enchilada expert here in Doddy. Doddy, how many times have you ridden this trail, and what's it like to go down? Because it looks fantastic. These photos of you look amazing.
So I've ridden it 5 times. Super fortunate. I'd go back tomorrow if I could.
Yeah.
It's the best thing I've ever ridden.
And it's Moab.
In Moab, yeah.
Yeah.
So and there's loads of amazing riding there, but it's just unlike anything in my daily riding.
Yeah.
Like, it's nothing like it. Like I say, 27 miles of different zones, ranging from steep high alpine in the aspen trees down to the valley floor, where you're riding the craziest, rockiest rock steps on a canyon edge with like death to your side. It's just unreal. There isn't anything that really feels like it.
I loved how you were telling me earlier on is that some of it's so high you can't really get an understanding of the scale of the place.
That's really strange.
There's not really anything to judge how high up you are.
See. Yeah.
I wonder what it'd be like on an e-bike coming up. It's going to be easier, of course, but
I don't think you can ride an e-bike on it.
Oh, you're not allowed?
I'm not sure you're allowed. I think there's certain areas of Moab you can.
Right.
I think it might be correct us if anyone actually knows.
Yeah, let
down
us
there.
know, let
I
us
think
know.
you're allowed to ride e-bikes in places you're allowed to ride motorised vehicles,
Okay.
like rock crawler trails and things like that,
Yeah.
but not on the mountain
Yeah.
bike trails. Maybe.
Yeah. No, I mean, we've touched on it in our earlier conversation. Braydon's had a go at this. We've seen the terrain in detail watching the film. Let's think of some other riders who could maybe take this on, because there's not many, I don't think. But obviously, Chris
Crazy man.
I watched this film and I thought, I would like to see Chris try this.
Because you would see that same style, like I said. And you
He'd
would,
keep it moving.
He's a bit more angry though, isn't he? You might be a bit more angry if it doesn't go his way.
bike
Yeah, he
is
can
set
get really
down.
cross. He really can get cross. Yeah, I mean, Chris, is there anyone else? Because I can imagine someone like Kenny Belay could try
Hans
it.
Race.
But I don't think Hans would.
Really?
I
long
don't
way.
want to say Hans can do it because he's a god to me, but I feel like this is really pushing it fitness-wise. You could get through some of the hard bits, but you've still got 4,000 metres of climbing to
It's a
do.
very unique skill set.
It's very
That
interesting.
Explosive power as well.
Yeah.
And a tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not many people.
It has led me to a question for you guys out there, and I want you to get involved in the comments down below on this, because a Whole Enchilada, I guess it kind of makes sense to think, could you ride up it? But where else could we go to try something like this? What trails? Oh yeah,
Val de Sol, Champrieux, yeah.
Yeah, what trails could we do? Let them down. This is a serious question, because you could suggest our next trip to go riding. So I want you to suggest somewhere really good. In the comments down below, that's where you get involved. And as a reward, I'm going to do a giveaway now. So let's take a look at that. Yeah, competition time. Neil, what we got?
Well, 3 prizes. The top first prize is all singing, all dancing. It's the POC Tactile race MIPS with NFC chip on there as well, so you can put all your details in there for the first responder to get your medical details if you need it. MIPS, plus we've got some Devour trail glasses with the Carl Zeiss Clarity lenses. Top of the range kit for one person to win.
Yes.
And we've got 2 other prizes.
Yes, two other prizes as well up for grabs. We've got 2 standard Tactile race helmets and Devour glasses for each. So there's 3 prizes up for grabs. Head down to the description below this video to get involved, and in 2 weeks' time we'll be announcing the winners.
Do they have to be pink like Blake's?
No. Right, time for a shop shout out. Why don't you head over to the GMBN shop, get yourself a nice hoodie or a t-shirt, get yourself something nice, and we've got a really great offer on that will make it worth your while.
Yeah, that's right, Mark. If you buy any casual item, you get another one half price. Promotional items, I think they finish after payday on Monday. So get involved quick.
Yeah, get on it. It's a great way to support the channel, and we love seeing you guys out there in our gear. Hacks and bodges! Hacks and bodges! Hacks and on my own, man, on my own. They left me
We're doing it this week, sorry.
left me super hanging. Anyway, hacks and bodges, let's start this week with Sean's. This is actually a pretty impressive bike rack. Look, he's just strapped.
think?
It's a board. I like the simplicity of it.
But he's got a really fancy aero Kool-Aid roof rack. And
Yeah.
they look great.
It does feel like swearing a bit, doesn't it?
I really like that he's just put this together with basically no materials. And do you know what? It probably does a very similar job, doesn't it?
does. It's aero, I suppose, as well.
It is aero. What do you think, Doddy? What do you think of that? What do you think of the build quality?
I think it's great. You keep your house warm in the winter as well if your electricity bills are a bit high. Snip it up and throw it on the fire.
I wondered what you meant then.
Hack or bodge?
Oh no, that is a hack, lads.
Hey, it's not bad.
That's
it's
a
functional.
hack. Right,
It
okay,
works.
let me see if I can impress you with this then.
Laser beams.
From Paul, who's
Whoa.
messing with laser beams. I just like the fact he's messing with laser beams just to align things like front wheels and
We've
derailleurs.
seen this.
Everyone's
before.
doing laser beams
love
at the
it.
moment.
I love it. Doddy, have you ever used a laser beam in your tech world of mountain
No.
biking? No.
Never.
We need to fix that.
Well,
we need to
there
fix
is someone on Kickstarter that's got one
that
for
was
your
the
handlebars
thing.
to align your
Yeah.
bars.
Wow, we talked about that on the show the other
Yeah,
day.
but this is just a standard one that you
Buy
can get.
some screw fix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we saying? This is a bodge. This is a bodge.
Well, this is Paul. He said,
Yeah, it's kind of a bodge on a camera tripod.
cheap laser.
I like it.
Tripod. Yeah.
That's a great
That's
idea.
one hack, one bodge. Right, next up, and this is the last one from Dan. He is, I just like the effort he's gone to do this. He's basically created a little wooden jockey so he can basically service his bike when he hasn't got his rear wheel in on the bike stand.
Okay.
Have you ever used a chain keeper, Doddy, in your life? I've
Nope.
never used one.
Nope.
I know roadies are well keen on these things.
They are.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
know right. You guess take wheels out and you can.
I get the idea, but I think you and me probably just have the chain around the rear axle, don't we?
Well, I don't know why you'd want to spin it without the wheel in, really.
Yeah.
Unless I'm missing something.
But I do like the little wooden jockey wheel. So I'm quite into this one. So I definitely say it's a hack. But you guys
Well, it's
now have got
hacked
to
to
choose
wood,
our
yeah.
best one. Is it a laser? Is it a plank of wood? Or is it a little piece of circular wood?
Doddy, come
Doddy,
on.
what are you
I
gonna
like
pick?
the laser. That's something useful for building your house, and you can actually straighten some stuff. I'm going to try it.
Really?
I'm actually going to
Neil,
try
are you
it.
with Doddy on that?
It's fine.
Oh my God, I can't
like
believe
it.
it.
What can I say?
Okay, so Paul, you have won with your laser beam on Hacks and Bodges this week. Well done, you've won yourself a GMBN race top. Not bad at all. Okay, let's keep things rolling with Caption Contest. Last week's photo, Blake
dear.
looking super wrestling sexy.
Modelling the new GMBN bibs, I believe.
Oh, yes, he's looking good. So we've got some good captions
dear.
to that. I'll start us off with S-Lack. He says, Blake doesn't realise how close he is to getting suspended.
He is now, yeah.
Nice.
It really is, yeah.
Mitch Hicks says, sneak peek, the GMBN presenters are working on a calendar for next year.
Oh, gross.
Well, they are not.
Gross.
Man-made Swine says GMBN Mankini now available in the merch shop. Shouldn't joke about this sort of thing.
We shouldn't.
We shouldn't. Funny. Have I seen Blake in a mankini? I feel like I might
I
have.
feel
Oh
like
God,
I
that's
have.
something you don't need to see.
I think the winner this week, who gets a stunt mug, is... I quite like that one, actually, the Mankini. Man-made Zwine. You have won yourself a GMBN stunt mug, which
What?
I haven't got to hand. Oh, there's one there, Neil.
I don't think that's a throwable mug.
That's not.
Damn,
That's not
damn. But, dude, it's on its way to you in the post. Don't worry, you've won yourself a mug. Here's this week's Caption Contest photo. Ooh. Give us a caption for that in the comments down below. And you could be winning yourself a GMBN stunt mug next week. Stunt mug. A GMBN stunt mug next week. Let's take a look at some things we liked this week. I tell you what, I love the last round of the EWS that's just gone was so good. We saw the champions crowned, Jesse Melamed and Isabeau Kadurier.
Yeah.
Took their wins. But look at this. Jack Moeller taking this little tumble. He basically lost the race just there. That's the difference. That little moment, he basically was down for 7 seconds. He lost the whole race. Just that little crash.
Big day out.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah, it looked like it was pretty challenging conditions, actually.
Yes. But it was good to see Jack Moore racing fast again. Though.
Yeah.
But great last round. Enjoyed it.
Pint-sized cyclist, gotta love this. Why jump one parent when you've got two? I think that's great. Volunteering your parents as crash test dummies to lie underneath you.
You guys are parents of small kids. Would you do that?
Yeah.
Not yet.
I wouldn't do that. I would not do that.
And a normal mountain biker, you might follow this guy on Instagram, pretty much nails what everyone does on their way into mountain biking. Check it out.
Look at this.
And we've seen this riding in the mud from Andre Frischner. It's on a cross-country bike.
Oh.
More like judgment, or was that?
I don't know. I mean, that is really slippy. I've watched a few riders go down there.
Yeah.
I think Andrew really does send it down there full speed. But even watching someone like Nina go down there, it was blooming
Gnarly,
slippy.
yeah.
Blooming slippy, yeah. And cross country got hard these days.
Hasn't it?
Yeah, amazing stuff. Some great stuff that we like this week. Right, it's time to see what's coming up on GMBN this week.
Well, Saturday, Martyn, I ride a white PRST, the only bike to be named after the evil robotic dog from Wallace and Gromit. The trousers, can't remember which one.
Yeah.
And it is, well, I used to ride when this bike came out, and I used to think it was the ugliest bike I've ever seen.
So
People used to rave about it, so I bought one. 300 quid. I thought I'm going to ride that and see what it's like.
Oh, I can't wait to see that video. Cannot wait. Doddy, what you got coming up on tech this week?
Oh, roving report of riches actually at Trophy des Nations.
Oh, right.
Doing some hottest tech and also some pro bikes.
Oh, nice,
keep an
nice.
eye out.
I'm looking forward to, we've got a brilliant feature coming this weekend where I took some able-bodied riders that you may recognise out on some adaptive mountain bikes when we were in Whistler, and we had a ball.
Getting up to no good.
It was hilarious. So we've got some absolute bangers coming out on GMBN and GMBN Tech this week, so make sure you don't miss them. And of course, if you haven't done already, like these videos and of course subscribe so you'll get all your notifications. Before we end the show, let's jump into the bike vault and see what you're riding this week.
Martyn, what have you put together this week? They better be good.
They're fantastic.
Are there any Cannondales before we get in there?
I've got a slow opener. It's a slow opener bike vault. Right,
reckon?
I'm in.
Right.
Here we go.
I thought you meant we started off with bikes that aren't that good.
No. We're into the first one, and I like this. I like the shot.
Sort of dropped sea stays on that. What is it? It is a Cannondale.
Oh,
Trail
what? Where's the
SE4,
bell?
Dallas, Texas, from Dylan.
Super nice Cannondale to start.
That's a cool shot.
Dylan
What do you-
said just got into mountain biking, riding with his wife, who's equally new to mountain bikes as well. That's cool.
Doddy,
awesome.
what do you call that kind of shot where it sort of makes the bike look like it's a toy?
That looks like an iPhone shot to me.
An iPhone shot. It's funny that, isn't it?
I think what you're talking about is tilt shift.
Tilt shift.
Yeah.
Right, okay, yeah. It's a good shot. I like it. It's super nice because it's a Cannondale.
Whoa.
Next up, we've got a Trek 950.
You know what? You know,
That's a cool old
hipsters used to ride fixies. You see a lot of them,
Yeah.
particularly in the US, riding on mountain bikes like that. And I
Yeah.
can get on board with it. That's a cool looking bike.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
There's a courier around here that rides an old hard rock and he's put drop bars on it and red tyres and
Nice.
it's pretty cool.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
You see,
yeah.
they put those pizza racks on the front of the ones.
Yeah, I know the ones.
Pretty cool.
Next up,
Super nice.
sorry, that was a super nice for summer. Well done, lovely Trek. The next bike we've got is
dear.
What is the other?
This is
what's opposite to
Martyn's
super nice?
Cycle Tech Luxus Tool Custom.
Marmite tyres, I'm afraid.
Wow.
Those tyres are hideous.
Tell you what though, looking past the tyres, it's an interesting bike. But the tyres have brought it somewhere we didn't want to go.
I've never heard of this brand. It was Cyclotech.
Cyclotech,
Founded
yeah,
in
I've heard of
1984 in Bern, Switzerland, make urban and trekking bikes, but also have mountain bikes for. It's from 2010. That bike. It's not that retro.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's a bicycle at the end of the day. It is nice. Next up, we've got a Mondrake. Oh, Doddy might like this. This is from Christian in Germany.
Started riding in lockdown. Retravelled the forks to 120mm, installed shorter stem, wider bars, drop posts, and 180mm trick stuff discs.
I think that's got everything you need for a really nice day out on a mountain bike.
What's the deal with the little yellow decals everywhere?
I don't
mean
know.
the graphics, the little luminous ones.
I don't know. You're not into that.
Well, I just wonder what they are. They're quite weirdly spaced.
I think they're like
Says
high
he-
vis.
Yeah, commutes
high vis.
every
There
day
is.
on it. Gotta be.
That'll be what it's for.
There we are. So what are we gonna do? That's a nice.
That's
a
nice.
Holy moly.
Next up, we have got a super
Martyn.
sick trials bike.
It's half a bike.
This is Sam's On It Hope Trials bike. Great little garden weapon. Hope brakes. It's got all of it on there.
super lightweight.
I think it's
Yeah.
cool actually.
I mean,
I'd quite like a trials bike or an alternative bike for messing around on.
yeah.
just
I mean,
something different.
this is a kiddie's one. So this is his son's bike. He's 9 years old. So I bet you whoever's riding that, his name's not in the list actually, but he'll be a brilliant rider in a few years' time.
What is that, 20-inch?
That
Yeah.
is, yeah,
Looks
20.
like 20.
Why is there no front part of the head tube?
It's just weight reduction.
What?
Take it out, yeah.
That's crazy.
A lot of trials bikes now have got that cutaway on the old head tube.
I think that's cool.
It's a very
I actually
nice.
really like it.
I think it's a super. It's a trials bike.
Go with that.
You can't go wrong. Next up, we've got Ben's 2021 Vita Summit.
You know what?
Good.
Everything about that shot is great, although the oval chaining does put me off.
Wow, you spotted a lot in
Out
one
at
look.
6 a.m. That is. Oval chainings are weird. Everyone used to ask us all the time, are they? And like people say they are.
Everyone I know that rides them loves them,
Yeah.
but not for me.
What shall I give it?
I think that's super nice.
Super nice.
Very nice.
Super nice. Next up,
Rats,
we've
that
got.
is a beauty. A
ooh,
Hope
yeah.
HB916. I'm not seeing one in that colour.
Well, that's
hot,
awesome
isn't
looking, isn't it?
Olin's. That's
Ring
got
that
everything.
bell.
Onus 38.
Whoa. I feel like I should ring the bell for a while on that one.
Yeah.
That one
That's
is lovely.
first ride out for Phil. Brand
Yeah,
new bike.
well done.
That's
Phil.
mega looking, that
You've
thing.
done well. Todd's YT is
Wow.
Yeah, that's the sort of short travel, not XC, but that's.
Oh, I love the finish on that.
cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's a super nice too.
Yeah.
Is that a standard paint job?
Oh,
I don't know.
Is it one of those wraps? I don't know.
It looks like a wrap,
That looks
doesn't
new.
it's a very nice
It's
bike.
flipping nice though, whatever it is.
We're out the bike vault on
Yeah.
the YT, I'm afraid, but there was some nice bikes in
Good
there,
bikes
eh?
in there.
Really, really nice. Hey, send us in your bike to the GMBN uploader, and we could be looking at your bike next week and ringing the bell for it, I'm sure. Great way to get involved with the show, and we love looking at the bikes, whether it gets on the show or not. So do get involved. Guys, thanks so much for joining me on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Mark.
It's been great. I just want to go and ride the whole enchilada, basically.
I just want to watch this video, to be honest, the whole thing.
Can't wait for them. 2nd of November, don't forget, Braydon's film's coming out. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Thanks for watching this week. Make sure you've liked, and definitely subscribed to GMBN and GMBN Tech. And until next week, it's goodbye from us.
See you later.